Good afternoon. I'm Assistant Chief Mark Olson of the EMS Division, and I'd like to welcome you to our EMS Division promotional ceremony. We have a number of people that we're recognizing today, which is a significant event, especially since we've had incredibly strong support from our government, from our county executive in keeping the ranks full. And this is something that will lead us into the future. So what I'd like to do first is just recognize a number of people around the room. Certainly our county executive, Thomas Gordon, the Deputy Chief Administrative Officer, Samuel Guy, Jim McDonald, the Chief of Staff for the county executive. Also the Acting Public Safety Director, Colonel Elmer Setting, Chief Lawrence Tan of the Emergency Medical Services Division, and also our staff with Assistant Chief Donnie Holden from the Emergency Communications Division, as well as Lieutenant Colonel Matt Jamison of Newcastle County Police, and Major Vaughn Bond, Major Wendy Feeser, Captain Robert McLucas, Captain Pat Corral, Captain John Treadwell, Captain Quentin Watson, Captain Laura Sullivan, and Captain Patricia Davies. Also from the police ranks as well is Chaplain Reverend Cheryl Olson from Wilmington Police. We have from EMS, we have a couple retirees here today. I see that retired Assistant Chief Daniel Seedor took time out of his busy retirement schedule to be with us today, as did retiree Paramedic First Class Jim McCarnan. We have a number of people representing EMS and fire here. We have the Director of Public Safety for Kent County, Colin Faulkner. We have the Paramedic Director for OEMS, the state of Delaware, Andy Fulton. And from the Fire Service, I'd like to welcome Chairman Frank Gant, who is the chairman of the Fire Ambulance Advisory Board, president of Newcastle County Firemen's Association, Les Warwick, and president of the Fire Chiefs Association, Dennis Godak, as well as past chief Eric Haley. We have retired Battalion Chief Ed Honicki from Wilmington Fire Department, and I see that Liz Petrick's here from Human Resources. That's a pretty important part to us too, as is the risk manager, Cheryl McDonough. I saw you here at some point. There you are. And from council, we have representatives from Councilman Powers' office, Rudy Gilmore, and Councilman Bell's office as well, Karen Barlow, and Chris Roberts from Councilman Rada's office. And I just saw Mike Coops swing in here. Welcome to you. And hopefully I did not forget anybody right here. So I'd like to welcome you all. And at this time, we'll have you stand for the presentation of colors. And please remain standing after that for the national anthem and the invocation by Father Captain John McVoy.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
Gracious God, we ask your blessing upon these young men and women who we honor today for their achievements. We celebrate their capacity for creativity, for critical thinking, for focused efforts.
I failed to introduce probably two extremely important people in the next 3 days, which is A.J. Shull. He's the director of the Delaware Emergency Management Agency, as is, I believe, the coordinator for Newcastle County Emergency Services, is Emergency Management, is here today too, and they'll be pretty busy over this weekend, I'm sure. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Chief Lawrence Tan, the Chief of the Emergency Medical Services Division, for some remarks.
Thank you, Mark. County Executive Gordon, members of the County Executive Staff, representatives from County Council, fellow members of the Department of Public Safety, distinguished guests, and certainly today's promotional honorees. I just would like to point out the Director of Public Safety, Joseph Bryant Jr., was unable to be here today, but I would like to publicly recognize his continued support, his encouragement, and his leadership within the department. And we appreciate his ongoing support of both this venture as well as his support of the mission. I'd also like to recognize just a couple of other people on the staff here. Lieutenant Martha Russ, Executive Officer for the Operations Branch, and certainly you've already met Assistant Chief Mark Alston, the Commander of Operations and Special Operations. Other members of the staff are actually a part of the promotional process today, so we'll get to them a little bit later. Welcome. Welcome to the promotional ceremony for the Emergency Medical Services Division of the Department of Public Safety. And thank you for joining us as we celebrate the promotion of 9 members of the county's paramedic service. You know, it seems somewhat fitting that we're celebrating these achievements of these individuals during a month that marks the 40th anniversary of the dedication of the first paramedic unit in both Newcastle County and the state of Delaware. It's fitting because the members of the service that are being recognized today inherited a reputation that had been established and nurtured by those that served before them, a couple of which have been introduced earlier. Today's honorees have accepted the additional responsibility of continuing that tradition of excellence in service, and with it the duty to pass on their dedication to public service to those who follow. While we celebrate the achievements of these individuals, we also recognize the support that they receive from family and significant people in their lives towards their success. Make no mistake about it, careers in public service, particularly emergency services with 24-hour responsibilities, can be demanding, can be stressful, and in some cases compete with time that would otherwise be spent with family, such as nights, weekends, and holidays. So today we're recognizing the sacrifices and support that each person's family has made towards their promotion. And I would just ask you to give them a warm round of applause. So to the EMS Division honorees today, congratulations. You've demonstrated your commitment to your profession and to the Newcastle County Emergency Medical Service, and we look forward to working with you in your new capacities. Well done. It's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker. The hallmark of County Executive Gordon's administration has been an intense focus on public safety within Newcastle County. The Department of Public Safety has received unprecedented support for all components, including the Emergency Medical Services Division, the Division of Police, and the Emergency Communications Division over the past 3 years. County Executive Gordon has provided both personnel and tools needed for the Department of Public Safety to provide world-class services to the citizens of Newcastle County. Within the paramedic service, this is translated into the restoration of previously frozen or unfunded positions and the completion of the first Paramedic Academy class during 2014 and 2015. In fact, the Newcastle County Paramedics have completed more promotions within the service within the past 3 years than any previous county administration. So please join me in welcoming to the podium Newcastle County Executive Thomas P. Gordon.
Thank you very much. Mark, you did a good job introducing everybody in the room, everybody who is anybody in medical services in this room today. Oliver, fantastic voice, first time I've heard it. Thought you did a really great job. And of course, I always like the father because I need all the prayers I can get. And he knows that. And we've had some private talks about that. He's working on me. But I couldn't be prouder to be county executive of this public safety department. From Joe Bryant, Larry Tan, Chief Setting, Chief Miller. You know, nothing can ruin the career of a county executive than a public safety going awry. And I haven't had one day in the last 3 years where I had a problem. I had to stop what I was doing to deal with something out here. And that's really remarkable. And that comes from some very good leadership. And the leadership that you've picked today, I think, will continue that legacy. It's a tough job to step up And I always thought that the hardest job is your first line supervisor or the sergeant. Making that transition from paramedic to now you got to manage the group of people that you were just part of. But I've come to learn that Larry Tan Esquire does a phenomenal job if you let him loose to make it even at higher ratings and performance than ever before. And I just tell you, the money is well spent out here. And the numbers are just remarkable. What you're doing, they hold the city of Wilmington together with all their shootings and the rest of the county with the heroin problem and the lives you saved with the Narcans and, defibrillators. That's old technology now, but you guys have been on the cutting edge as long as I've known you. And I think sometimes you don't get the recognition that you need. And you make all of us very proud. So we'll get on with the show. And I do want to say that a lot of credit goes out to Joe Bryant, who broke his leg trying to follow me in the motorcycle squad. I always have to rub that in. I got through it. He tried to emulate me, and he ended up with a 30-year injury. But we won't tell him that. But he's here in his heart, and very proud of everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to introduce for some remarks right now the Acting Director of Public Safety, Colonel Elmer Setting.
I also would like to take a moment to thank Director Bryant, and I'm going to explain just why we owe him so much thanks in regards to not just today and these promotees, but to all the divisions and the changes that have happened and occurred inside of public safety. But first, I know if Joe were here, he would say, congratulations to the promotees, congratulations to your families, this is your day. But at the same time, what Director Bryant would never say, and I'm going to say, is that he had a focus when he came in here to change how we operated. We operated in silos, and all of the attention was always spent on the police division. And he made it his mission to break those silos down. And since we're all in the same fight, we're all out there facing the same challenges. It doesn't matter if you're in communications, it doesn't matter if you're out there administering Narcan or making that save after someone's been shot in the city and or in the county. We're all in the same fight. It's a difficult challenge, and you weren't given the amount of recognition, as the county executive pointed out, that you certainly deserve. Well, the director did change that. He successfully made us all as important as each other. We're all one team now. We've never had better or more, I would say, important communications. It's not that our interactions are not frivolous in nature. The chiefs meet weekly, and we realize every time we meet, we're all up against the same challenges. One of the biggest challenges, of course, is our budget. But I will take a moment to say that the county executive, our council, realizes and recognizes the importance of public safety in Newcastle County, and I thank you. So if Joe were here, he would say he's looking forward to pinning these badges on each and every one of you, and he is very upset. I was on the phone with him yesterday. He's very upset that he's missing this. He asked his doctor if they would change his orders, and they said no, he has to stay on bed rest. So we'll get on with the show, but I want to thank the director for all of his leadership and for what he's done in all three divisions. It's been remarkable. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel. Now it's time for the presentation of our honorees, of our promotees, and if County Executive Gordon and Acting Director of Public Safety Setting and Chief Tan would take the floor. For those of you who are here to support your loved ones and your friends, we're going to announce each one of the people to be promoted, and they'll come up to the front of the podium with their cover on, and that's probably a good time if you want to take a picture. If you are the person that is actually pinning the badge on them today, once I get to the end and announce that it's you that will be badging them, you just come to the front of the room, and Chief Tam will give you the badge to pin on your honoree.
Just to recognize Bob Stewart, the director.
Sorry. Bob Stewart, you snuck in on me there. He's the Director of Public Safety for Sussex County Paramedics. Glad to have you here, sir. Thank you. Okay. Assistant Chief Mark R. Logeman. Assistant Chief Mark R. Logeman was appointed to the Newcastle County Emergency Medical Services in 1995. He was enrolled at the Medical Center of Delaware training program, so you know that's been a little bit, and he graduated in 1996. Assistant Chief Logeman served as the EMS Division's Public Information Officer from 2000 to 2003. He's also served as a field training officer for the EMS Division. He was promoted to the rank of Paramedic Corporal in 2004 and was subsequently promoted to the rank of Paramedic Sergeant in 2009. Prior to his promotion to the rank of Sergeant, Mark served for a number of years as a field training officer, as training new paramedics, students, and candidates for preparation as full certification as Newcastle County Paramedics. Subsequently, Mark was promoted to the rank of lieutenant in 2013, where he commanded EMS field operations on Platoon 1. Mark was promoted to the rank of captain in August of 2015, and most recently to the rank of assistant chief in December of 2015, so it's been a bit of a busy year for him. He now commands the operations branch of the Emergency Medical Services Division. Assistant Chief Logeman is a graduate of the University of Delaware, where he holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Assistant Chief Logeman is a graduate of the 2014 West Point Command and Leadership Program conducted through the New Jersey Association of Police Chiefs. And in addition to numerous complimentary letters that Assistant Chief Logeman has received over the years, most notably, he has been recognized for the following accomplishments. He has received several official commendations, including 3 distinguished unit citations, a tribute from Newcastle County Council, a pre-hospital sudden cardiac arrest save citation, and a unit letter of commendation. Mark lives in Hocassin with his wife Grace and children Robert and Elizabeth. And today, Robert will have the honor of pinning the badge on his dad. Assistant Chief Mark R. Logeman. Captain Dawn E. Gleason. Captain Gleason was hired by the EMS Division in September 1986 as an ambulance medical technician and entered the Medical Center of Delaware's paramedic training program. Captain Gleason was trained as a cardiac rescue technician and continued her training, graduating in 1987 as a nationally registered paramedic. Over the years, she has worked a variety of platoons while assigned to the EMS field operations. Captain Dawn Gleason was promoted to Paramedic First Class in 2004, Paramedic Corporal in 2005, and with the creation of the EMS Career Development Program, became one of the first paramedic sergeants to attain that rank in July of 2005. Prior to the promotion to Paramedic Sergeant, Captain Gleason was a field training officer for the division. Captain Gleason was promoted to the rank of lieutenant in October of 2014, where she commanded EMS Field Operations Platoon 3 and later served as the executive officer for the Operations Branch Commander. Captain Gleason holds an Associate of Science degree in Medical Office Assistant from Brandywine College of Widener and is currently pursuing her Bachelor's degree of Science in Organizational Dynamics at Wilmington University. Captain Gleason is a 2014 graduate of the New Jersey Command and Leadership Academy. And in May 2015, Captain Gleason completed her coursework, achieving certification as a National Certified Internal Affairs Investigator. Captain Gleason remains active as a certified pre-hospital trauma life support instructor, a CPR instructor, an instructor for the New Castle County CERT program, a guest instructor for the New Castle County Division of Police 2014 All-Girls Youth Empowerment Camp, and an EMS instructor for the New Castle County Police Academy. In addition to numerous complimentary letters and correspondence over her career, Captain Gleason has been recognized with the following: 4 distinguished unit citations, 4 unit letters of commendation, 2 certificates of appreciation, a Delaware House of Representatives resolution, 3 pre-hospital sudden cardiac arrest citations, and an official tribute from the Office of the County Executive. She also received the Chief of EMS award in 2000 and wrong line, sorry. Captain Gleason is an avid sports fan, and she resides in Newark, where she can be found pulling for her UNC. Oh, correction, I'm sorry, your Duke Blue Devils. Boy, I really made a lot of mistakes on this one. In any case, Captain Gleason is currently assigned to the Office of Chief of EMS, and today, her father, Robert, and mother, Carol, will have the honor of pinning her badge. Captain Dawn E. Gleason. I'm sure it was a UNC comment that really got to her, I think. So. Lieutenant Michael A. Macaulay. Michael began his fire and EMS career in 1983 by joining Harrington Fire Company, held office of the ambulance supply officer while he was in the volunteer service, and then in 1984 became a nationally registered EMT. And he worked toward his life in EMS, and between 83 and 86, he completed several State of Delaware fire schools, Fire 1, 2, and 3, and Vehicle Rescue Command and Staff, and ambulance attendant certification. Well, in 1989 and 90, he completed the Delaware Paramedic training program that was offered through the Medical Center of Delaware as a New Castle County employee and became a nationally registered paramedic. In the mid-90s and early 2000s, he was involved as an instructor with the SLAM program, students learning about mortality, and the heroin alert programs. In 2002, he became certified as an American Heart Association CPR instructor and began teaching CPR classes to the public with New Castle County EMS. In 2004, he was promoted to paramedic corporal, and when the EMS Career Development Program became established. In 2006, he was promoted to lieutenant, and he completed his training as, and Lieutenant Macaulay completed his training as a flight paramedic through the Critical Care Training Program at Christiana Hospital and received certifications in neonatal resuscitation by the American Heart Association and completed the Pediatric Stable Program, which also worked with cardiac balloon pump training. In 2006, he accomplished certification as a paramedic in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. In 2009, he became a paramedic field training officer. In 2009, he also received his associate's degree in emergency services management from Delaware Technical and Community College. In 2010, he accomplished a certification in the state of Maryland. And the same year, he attained his advanced cardiac life support instructor with the American Heart Association. And then 2012, he became an adjunct paramedic instructor at Delaware Technical and Community College. So in 2013, he was promoted to the rank of sergeant with Newcastle County EMS and served as field supervisor with Platoon 4. In 2014, he was assigned to the position of Public Information Officer for the EMS division. In 2015, Lieutenant Macaulay assisted in work groups in design and procurement of the latest supervisors' vehicles. And also in 2015, he was promoted to the rank of lieutenant with Newcastle County EMS and was assigned now to as the commander of Field Operations Platoon 4. Lieutenant Macaulay currently coaches boys high school soccer in his free time, if you can believe he has any. And he served on the board and helped establish the Kent and Sussex County Soccer Club, which is now part of the Harrington Parks and Recreation Youth Athletic Programs. Lieutenant Macaulay served as the first safety director for the soccer organization and is currently head coach of Calvary Christian Academy men's soccer team and a member of the Harrington Fire Company. In addition to the complimentary correspondence for public and professional colleagues, or from colleagues, Lieutenant Macaulay has been recognized over the years to include a Commendation of Merit, 2 letters of commendation, 2 unit letters of commendation, 2 distinguished unit citations, the Phoenix Club Award for cardiac arrest saves, and 2 sudden cardiac arrest survivor awards. Lieutenant Macaulay lives in Harrington, Delaware with his wife April and 2 children, Bethany and Trevor. And today his wife April will have the honor of pinning his badge. Lieutenant Michael A. Macaulay. Lieutenant Michael R. Nichols. Lieutenant Michael Nichols was hired by Newcastle County EMS in January of 1995 as an emergency medical technician assigned to the then existing division's basic life support unit. Not long after he came on board, he was detailed to the Medical Center of Delaware Paramedic Training Program to begin instruction. He graduated as a nationally registered paramedic in September of 1996 and was assigned to the EMS Division Field Operations on Platoon 4. Lieutenant Nichols has been assigned over the course of his career to Tech 5 and to Medic 1, 2, 6, and 7. In 1999, Lieutenant Nichols tested for and was accepted into the Newcastle County Police SWAT team. As one of the cadre of paramedics assigned to provide medical support to this specialized group in high-risk operations. Lieutenant Nichols continued to participate as a member of the SWAT team and now functions as the EMS Division's officer in charge of paramedics who are assigned to the Thames team. In March of 2004, he was promoted to corporal, and in November of 2013 to the rank of sergeant. Lieutenant Nichols is a graduate of Del Castle Votech, where he studied carpentry. He holds an Associates of Science degree in Emergency Services Management and is a 2015 graduate of the New Jersey State Association of Police Chiefs Command and Leadership Program, known as the West Point Program sometimes. He's a CPR and a PHTLS instructor, and he is a graduate of the Leadership 2 program at the National Fire Academy based in Emmitsburg, Maryland. As an active member in his community, he's a life member of the Ellesmere Fire Company, and he's also a Cub Scout den leader. In addition to receiving complimentary correspondence and letters of appreciation throughout his career, he has also received the following recognitions: a unit letter of commendation, a commendation of merit, a cardiac arrest citation, 2 distinguished unit citations, one being at the Beaverbrook structure fire, and another one that involved a hostage incident down at the Delaware Correctional Institute in Smyrna. And he was also a recipient of a 2014 Kiwanis Club of Wilmington Award. Lieutenant Nichols currently commands EMS Platoon 3 in field operations. Mike lives in Warwick, Cecil County, Maryland, with his wife, Wendy, and 2 children, Sarah and Matthew. His wife, Wendy, will have the honor of pinning his badge today. Lieutenant Michael R. Nichols.
Thank you, sir.
Paramedic Sergeant Abigail E. Haas. Sergeant Abigail Haas was hired by the county in April of 2004 and entered the Delaware Technical and Community College Paramedic Technology Program at the Terry campus in Dover as a Newcastle County Paramedic student. Sergeant Haas graduated in September of 2005 and was assigned to field operations in a variety of station assignments, including Medic 2, 3, 8, and in addition to being in the floating assignments on various occasions too, through 2015. Sergeant Haas was promoted to the rank of Paramedic First Class in 2008, to the rank of Paramedic Corporal in November of 2011, and to the rank of Paramedic Senior Corporal in November of 2015. In addition to graduating from the Delaware Technical and Community College Paramedic Program, Sergeant Haas is a graduate of the University of Delaware with a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science with a concentration on pre-veterinary medicine and a Bachelor of Arts in Biology. Other lateral duties have included her participation in the State of Delaware Protocol Committee in 2013, trained the trainer for DEMERS, the Paramedic Reporting System, 2012, the Delaware Resuscitation Academy as an instructor in 2015, and she was also a background investigator for the hiring process in the 2006 class. And she also assisted in the QA/QI program in 2008 and 2009. In addition to several complimentary letters of appreciation from the public, Sergeant Haas has received the following recognition: a Commendation of Merit, a Distinguished Unit Citation, a Cardiac Arrest Survivors Award, and 3 letters of merit. In the community, Sergeant Haas has been a member of the Aetna Hose, Hook, and Ladder Company in Newark, Delaware since 1999. Sergeant Haas is currently assigned as a field supervisor to EMS Platoon 4. Sergeant Haas is married to Richard Haas, who is a telecommunicator fire medical here with Newcastle County, and has 2 children, Heidi Grace and Riley Quinn. They reside in Newark, Delaware. Her husband, Richard, accompanied by daughters Heidi Grace and Riley Quinn, will have the honor of pinning the badge, Sergeant Abigail Haas. Sergeant Isaac J. Hankins. Sergeant Isaac Hankins was hired by the county in July of 2002 after completing Delaware Technical and Community College Paramedic Program at the Terry campus in Dover. Sergeant Hankins had accomplished his full certification as a National Registered Paramedic in January of 2003 and was assigned to field operations in a variety of station assignments, including Medic 1 in the city of Wilmington, Medic 4 up in Bellefonte, Medic 5 in the MOT area, and Medic 8 in the city of Wilmington through 2015. Sergeant Hankins has progressed through the career development plan through his years, being promoted to Paramedic First Class in 2006, Paramedic Corporal in 2009, and Senior Corporal in June of 2015, and of course now to Sergeant. Sergeant Isaac Hankins is a 1998 graduate of Smyrna High School, and in addition to attending the Paramedic Technology program at the Delaware Technical and Community College, Sergeant Hankins also attended Shepherd College in Shepherdtown, West Virginia. Sergeant Hankins has also participated in lateral duties with the EMS division in things such as background investigator for the 2014 and 2016 paramedic classes, vehicle replacement committee, assistant recruiter, mentor for the paramedic class and for the St. George's High School EMS program, and as an adjunct EMS instructor for Newcastle County Police and Middletown Police Academies and refresher courses. He's also a CPR, AED, and first aid instructor. Sergeant Isaac Hankins has served his community as a life member of Citizens Hose Company in Smyrna. He is currently the PIO and serves on the board of directors for Citizen Hose Company. And he has worked his way up through the ranks, holding the office of fire chief in both 2013 and 2014. Sergeant Hankins has numerous awards, including a Commendation for Merit for a trench rescue in 2010, a Distinguished Unit Citation for a deck collapse in September 2010, a Distinguished Unit Citation for a house fire with injuries in December 2011, a Distinguished Unit Citation for a Route 1 bus crash just back here in April of 2015, the Kiwanis Club of Wilmington Paramedic of the Quarter in 2011, and the Kiwanis Club of Wilmington Paramedic of the Year in 2011, and one pre-hospital cardiac arrest citation. And that's it. Paramedic Hankins resides in Smyrna with his wife, Christy, in their almost new house, right? And Christy will have the honor of pinning the badge on her husband, Isaac, today, Sergeant Isaac J. Hankins. Sgt Richard Mormon Jr. Sgt Richard Mormon is originally from Newburgh, New York, and graduated from the paramedic program at Dutchess County Community College in that area, where he became a nationally registered paramedic. And he was hired by the county in February of 2001, despite the fact that he's a diehard Mets fan. So I got in here somehow. Sergeant Mormon has served at field operations assignments at Medic 1 in Wilmington and Medic 5 in the MOT area. He's been an FTO for the EMS division since 2013. He was promoted to Paramedic First Class in 2004, Paramedic Corporal in 2007, and Senior Corporal in June of 2015. Sergeant Mormon holds an associate's degree of Emergency Services Management from Delaware Technical and Community College, where he graduated summa cum laude. Sergeant Mormon has also completed a number of courses offered by the National Fire Academy, such as Leadership 1, 2, and 3, and ICS 100, 200, 300, 700, and 800. He's an active CPR instructor and a pre-hospital trauma life support instructor. He has participated in many lateral work group and assignments, such as 2 vehicle design committees, the Medic 5 Building Committee, again as the field training officer and assistant recruiter on the ALS bike team, and he's taught at the Newcastle County EMS Resuscitation Academy most recently. He's received a number of awards, A proclamation from the town of Middletown, a resolution from the Newcastle County Council, and commendation from the state Senate, all for a CPR save that occurred in August of 2014. Two distinguished unit citations, a certificate of appreciation for youth CPR training, and pre-hospital sudden cardiac arrest citation for a save in 2013, 2 letters of commendation, a unit citation from Claymont Fire Company, a unit citation from Odessa Fire Company on a pediatric cardiac arrest save, and a unit citation from the Port Penn Fire Company for a crash that occurred at Route 13 in Port Penn Road. On an annual basis, Sgt Mormon organizes and trains students for CPR at the National Honor Society for the Alfred Waters Middle School. Sgt Mormon is currently assigned to Platoon 2 as an EMS supervisor. Rich and his wife Megan reside in Kent County, Delaware with their son Peyton. Both Megan and Peyton will have the honor of pinning their dad his badge today. Sgt Richard Mormon Jr. Sergeant Donald Lee Morris, Jr. Sergeant Donald Lee Morris, or Lee as we call him, was appointed to the Newcastle County Emergency Medical Services in October of 1991. He was enrolled in the Medical Center of Delaware Paramedic Training Program and graduated in 1992. Sergeant Morris has also served as a field training officer for the EMS division and was promoted to the rank of Paramedic Corporal in 2004 and Senior Corporal in 2015. Sergeant Morris holds an Associate of Applied Science in Emergency Services Management from the Delaware Technical and Community College and graduated summa cum laude. He is a member of the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. Throughout his career, he has been assigned to Medic 1, Medic 5, Medic 6, Medic 9, and is currently an EMS supervisor for Platoon 3. Sergeant Morris has distinguished himself throughout his career while receiving numerous recognition. A commendation of heroism, where he was boarding a moving freighter out in the Delaware River in the dark and an extended treatment time with an injured sailor in cold conditions, limited equipment, and foreign language barrier with the victim and the patient and the personnel on board. He also received a distinguished unit citation, a unit letter of commendation, a letter of commendation, and 19 complimentary letters from the public. Sergeant Lee Morris has contributed to the EMS division by participating in the Life Pack 15, it's a cardiac monitor, rollout committee, the Cardiac Arrest Survivors Reunion Work Group, as a field training officer, a BLS CPR instructor, an advanced cardiac life support instructor, and a certified child passenger safety seat technician, and also as an EMS continuing education instructor. In the community, Sergeant Morris is involved in the Community Bible Study in Newark, Delaware, community child safety events, the Volunteer Hose Company of Middletown, and as a volunteer youth leader for YFC International. Sergeant Morris resides in Middletown with his wife Christine and 4 children, Aiden, Kieran, Caleb, and Eliana. Lee's wife Christine will have the honor of pinning his badge on today. Sergeant Donald Lee Morris, Jr. Sgt Autumn Tuckford. Sgt Autumn Tuckford was hired by the county in March of 2005 and entered the Delaware Technical and Community College Paramedic Technology Program at the Terry campus in Dover as a Newcastle County Paramedic student. Sgt Tuckford graduated in September of 2006 and was assigned to field operations, where she was promoted to Paramedic First Class in 2009, Paramedic Corporal in 2012, and of course most recently to Paramedic Sergeant. Some of the lateral assignments taken on by Sgt Tuckford include Assistant Recruiter, St. George's Mentor, Field Training Instructor, Background Investigator, CPR, and a pre-hospital training life support or trauma life support instructor, an advanced cardiac life support instructor. And in addition to all this, Sgt Tuckford has made very significant contributions on behalf of the EMS division and the Newcastle County Department of Public Safety as a whole, within and beyond the walls of EMS, which have reflected very favorably upon our department. Sgt Tuckford has served as the first paramedic class coordinator for our first Newcastle County Paramedic Academy. She was recognized by the YMCA Young Black Achievers for her presentations to youth, coordinated media relations for the department through news pieces and newspaper articles, appeared on live TV for the Congo Hour for recruitment efforts and interviews for Newcastle County TV, sang the national anthem for the Victims Tribute on behalf of the Newcastle County Police Department. She is a member of Noble and a committee chair for the Delaware State University Mentorship, and she is the founder and mentor of the Middletown High School's Female Youth Empowerment Group. She coordinated and organized the Newcastle County Paramedic Academy 5K that raised monies for Sussex County paramedic Stephanie Calloway and the Scholarship Fund. Sgt Tuckford's awards and recognitions include the Chief Citation for her work with the Paramedic Academy that she did just pretty much on her own. She was a lot of self-directing. The Kiwanis Award for Paramedic of the Quarter for her recruitment efforts. 2 unit citations, one for the Crestview fire in the city of Wilmington, and another for a complicated motor vehicle crash in Lancaster Avenue in the city, and 2 Cardiac Arrest Survivors Award. Sgt Autumn Tuckford was kind enough to share some of her interests as well. Her favorite color is green. I don't know if that's for patients that have GI problems or anything. So. She attends church at the Journey in Newark. That's a good thing. She's originally from California. And are there children in here? She's also a Dallas Cowboys fan. So, excuse my language, I apologize. So, Sgt Tuckford resides in Camden, Delaware, with the most wonderful pieces of herself, her family. For the honor of pinning her badge today, Sgt Tuckford will have a small task force of close friends to accomplish this from Newcastle County Police Division, and I'll ask the chief just to verify that is a paramedic badge that's going on here. We're not trying to Shanghai her. So. Pinning her with her badge today will be Sergeant Sakina Slayton, Detective Joanne Smiley, Officer Jerry M. Cumberbatch, and Corporal Tracy Duffy. Sgt Autumn M. Tuckford. Thank you, gentlemen. You can be seated, and let's give them all a round of applause. Clearly, we have a great group of promotees that are going to be that are our future right now. At this time, I just want to let you know that we're going to break in just a moment, and afterwards there's some refreshments over here, so you can have a snack or something and get to meet all of our honorees. What I'd like to do now is if you could please stand for the final benediction by Father Captain John McCoy, and remain standing, please, for the retirement of colors. Thank you.
Let us pray. Lord God, we rejoice in your greatness and in your power, your gentleness and love, your mercy and justice. As we leave this facility today, enable us by your Spirit given to those honorees, that you in your thoughts and in your words, because of your actions, to serve you and in every aspect of those in New Castle County. For this we pray. Amen.
Thank you all for coming today. Please get to greet all the new honorees or the new promotees right here and enjoy some refreshments. We thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you.
Thank you.